And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The round gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins an Auto Club.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The entire season comes down to 4 drivers in a final race, in a battle of elimination. The history made this season for drivers like David Farmer, GT Hawkins, Brad Burns Shutters, and Rafael Hubi is all going to be settled here tonight as drivers get ready to grid. The one thing I can tell you is that in this chase format from the virtual Homestead Speedway, it's going to be whoever finishes the best. Welcome into the Bluegrass Cup Series. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. And tonight we're going to watch the Final 4 battle it out for over 200 laps here tonight. I'd like to thank Cofield Supply and Service, proud sponsor of Bluegrass Cup Series. And let's put those Final 4 up on your screen. So David Farmer gonna lead them in. Has about a 2-point advantage, 3-point advantage rather, over GT Hawkins this week. Rafael Hubi will be about 5 points back. And then it's 11 points back to Radburn Shutters. So this all boils down to who can get the best finish here tonight. Laps led. most laps led. Really going to come down to who can do the best here tonight at Homestead. Practice and qualifying has completed. Let's take you trackside now and get that grid. So starting on the pole here tonight, it's going to be David Farmer with a 33.166. Bradford Shutter is going to start on the outside in the front row. GT Hawkins starting third with Jonathan Atkins in fourth. Rafael Hubi going to start in the fifth position. Dustin Reinsettle in sixth. Brandon Holder comes into the seventh position. And our 8-car field here tonight, James Silver's going to round out the field. As they're starting to grid here, we're going to take a quick moment and talk with some of your top 4 in points. First driver we're going to talk to here tonight is going to be the driver of the number 14, GT Hawkins, if we can pull him up. All right, here we go. We've got GT Hawkins up here in the broadcast booth, or we did. I don't know where he went. Seems that he's been lost somewhere in the Discord. Lost for all eternity. I don't know where I put him. Hawkins, I apologize. I'm looking for you now. So some technical difficulties. I right-clicked his name, tried to pull him in. And there he is. There we go. Let's try this again. Bluegrass booth up here with Hawkins. I threw you somewhere. I'm trying to get you to the right place. Hawkins, do you have a copy?
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that. I apologize. It was somehow you ended up in the abyss. I couldn't even find your name after it moved you. Here tonight, you're going to be starting out with a third place starting spot. We've got a pretty tight battle between you and David Farmer. What's it going to take here tonight?
Tight battle in terms of...
All tight battle in terms of reset. We're sitting here looking at you just right behind him here on the start. You've got points to finish this out. If you can get the most laps led, get the better finish, I think you could seal the deal.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. I'm just happy to be here and glad I get to compete against a group of really good guys.
We appreciate your time, Hawkins. Good luck out there tonight. It's going to be a long one.
Thanks.
You could get it done. Driver the number 14, Hawkins, going to start in third. David Farmer going to lead him into turn 1. So he's set to go racing. Bluegrass Cup Series season finale is about to be underway. Green flag up in the air, and we're live and racing. Lap number 1, it's going to be Farmer. A little pass for second place going underway. Diving down to the inside as Hawkins tries to take away the second position from Shutters. Shutters showing 4th in points this week. He's going to have to get up there and lead every single lap here tonight and put a lot of distance between these drivers. The field very short here And it's going to make it difficult for any of these drivers to put a gap between them and a guy that maybe they're trying to pass in the points. As you can see, Rafael Hubi moving up into the 5th position. He's another one of those drivers. 7 points back here. He's got a lot of work to do. And staying in 4th gear, as you can see down the backstretch, even in the slipstream, not shifting to 5th. The driver's staying in 4th gear for the most part. Let's ride on board with Farmer. And a battle for the lead heating up. The 14 of Hawkins dives to the inside of Farmer as the preferred line into 3 and 4. Not quite able to complete the pass as they go side by side down the back stretch, or front stretch rather. The 84 going to hold on to that lead. Another dive to the inside into 1 and 2. Hawkins trying to take away this position. You can see up on the high line, Atkins getting around the outside of Shutters. And he will complete that pass for 3rd. And a ride on the wall there for the 57, a little bit too high. Now getting passed back by the 44. He's going to get the run down the front stretch to stay door to door. That little brush with the wall entering 3. He's going to want to shy away from that. It might cost him too much time. Rafael Hubi goes on the outside of the 44. Gonna move him up to the 4th position now. A lot of these guys driving the bottom. Hubi all the way up on top. Gonna get a good run down the backstretch. Might have the opportunity to make a pass here on the 57. He does get to the inside. Looks like he's going to be able to carry that speed and pick up to 3rd position now for the 21. Tags the apron a little bit there. Going to run it up wide on the exit and get another good run. Side by side again in front for the lead. Hawkins has the nose now as they go into 1. A little pinch down there by the 84 of Farmer, trying to hold on the outside. Hawkins holding it down on the bottom, and the little pinch down here from the 84, he's going to try to hit that exit again to keep that position. And this is just the art of driving. He has Hubi now catching up to the back. 21 might have an opportunity to take it 3 wide. Look at the pinch now. Almost some 3 wide as they exited turn 2. Hubi just not able to get the nose out there. The 84 of Farmer dives it down to give dirty air to the 14 and try to hold on to that position. Meanwhile, you have Brandon Holder side by side with the 57. Jonathan Atkins back in 5th position. Now a change for 2nd place. Hubi gets around the 14 of Hawkins. Hawkins running that bottom, might have used up the tires. Now Hubi up on the outside. He hasn't been afraid to take that lane. This top 3 checking out a little bit from Shutters, about a second ahead. And the 21 of Hubi dives it all the way down to the bottom. Side by side for the lead. Luby's going to take it away in turn 3, and another change for the lead on lap 11. Now back side by side. Hoobie going to lead that time by, but Farmer has other plans, wants to lead back. The top 3 shuffling back and forth. Another change for the lead. Farmer back in that corner, way up there, trying to get a run. And getting really loose, coming off a 4. He loses a ton of ground in this pack, and now the 14 of Hawkins is going to try his luck on the inside. The outside getting such a run down these straightaways, it makes it almost impossible to complete the pass. You can see Hawkins back down there on the bottom again. He tried that with Farmer. It didn't work out. Hoobie's going to hold the outside again, this time by, looking like Hawkins is going to lead by about 0.04 of a second. They're still side by side for this first position. Hoobie leads that time by. Farmer falls back 0.5 second from this group. And it's been tough here tonight. Looking like Farmer might have overdrove his stuff trying to lead this thing. Hoobie's staying up on the outside. Hawkins leads that time by. 2 laps led now for the number 14. 4 lead changes so far. 16 laps into this race. Still a lot of racing left to be done. Pit stops, going to spread this field out. Everybody's going to have to be perfect up and down pit road if they want a shot to win this thing. Farmer's starting to make a resurgence, now back to 0.4 of a second. Shutters, Atkins, Holder. A little off the pace here tonight for the 17 of Silvers and the 11 of Dustin Ryan Settle. They're about 4 seconds back in this lead pack. 6 seconds rather. Battle for the lead still going back and forth. Hawkins is going to take it away. Back into the picture, though, David Farmer. So the top 4 in points are in the top 4 in this race. You've got Hawkins, Hoobie, Farmer, and Shutters. Shutters, who started a little further ahead than where he is currently, trying to get back those positions, maybe in it for the long run. It's going to take a while to figure out if the 44 has what it takes to get back up there. He hasn't really shown the pace just yet, but he could be saving his tires. While these guys up here have been battling back and forth, Brandon Holder and Jonathan Atkins are slowly catching back up as well. Side by side here for the 5th position. Holder to the inside. Jonathan Atkins holds on to the spot for now. So Rafael Huby falls a little bit off pace. David Farmer's able to get around him. Falls all the way back to Radburn Shutters. And the pass for third might be on as the 44 dives it to the inside. The 21 been really well on the outside line, but it looks like that upper groove's starting to rubber up. You see the 21 get really close to the exit wall out of 4. Shutter's going to get by the 21. While they lose a little bit of ground to Hawkins. Now he's moved it up the racetrack, trying to run the high line. Farmer starting to dig down on the bottom, chipping away at this lead. Doesn't quite get the drive off that the 14 does on the exits, though. "24 laps in, 267 lap race here tonight. The premier finale of Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. If you're just joining us, the final 4 duking it out right now. They are your top 4. Hawkins, Farmer, Shutters, and Huby. Trying to decide who's going to be crowned champion. The 21 has fallen off about 1.3 seconds back to Brandon Holder, who is within a second of him now. The 57 of Atkins back to 6th as this race progresses, losing a little bit more time every lap for the 57. Battle for the lead. It's went dormant. 84 Farmer has fallen back to 2nd. Of Hawkins looking like he was chasing it up the racetrack there. And this gives an opportunity for Farmer to get another run, take another shot at the leader. Shutters also following suit, catches back up. So the dives down to the bottom, not getting the drive off. You can see Shutters following with Farmer. They get to the inside of the 14 of Hawkins, but just not able to get the run. Another dive there to the inside. 84 Farmer loses the nose. That opens up the door for Shutters now to go to second position. He will take it away into 3 and 4. Dive down to the inside of the 14, and these guys not moving it up a lane. I think if they might try the middle, they'd have an opportunity to hang with the 14. He's all the way up on the outside wall. But it's a very fine line there in the middle. You can see now the 14 tries the upper and now trying to exit. Doesn't work though. Exit speed's not there at the bottom of the racetrack. He's just going to have to treat this like Kansas and follow that line up on the outside to build up momentum. A dive down to the bottom, but a big run here for the 14. He's going to go back at him. And trading positions back and forth with the crossover. The 44 of Shutters back to the lead. Can he lead it this time by? He will get a lap led. Second one of the day here for the 44. Farmer sitting back patiently watching this battle as these two drive about 3.7 seconds away from Brandon Holder, who's moved up to fourth position. Rafael Hubi way off the pace here tonight. Three laps into this thing. You're watching Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing.
Back here live, Bluegrass Cup Series, live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. Radburn Shutters takes over the lead. About 3 laps ago, hasn't looked back since. He stretched the lead out over GT Hawkins by about 1.4 seconds. David Farmer back in third, 2.5 seconds back. And this lead getting bigger and bigger as the laps go on. There's the 44, as you can see, 7 laps led now, coming across for number 8. And this is going to boil down the finishing order here tonight, the season finale. If this was the final finishing order, Radburn Shutters would be crowned your champion. Still a lot of racing left to go, though. Checking in with our top four. The lowest driver of those four positions, Rafael Hubi, back here right behind a wall ride there from Jonathan Atkins. But Hubi back in 6th spot. A lot of ground left to be made. The 21 wants a chance. He is 8 seconds back from Shutters. And so now the question is, what can you do as a driver to make your situation better? If you're a little off the pace, if you have a chance at this championship, what can you do? It can boil down to pit road. On and off a little bit faster can make up some of that time. You can start thinking about strategy now. You see Brandon Holder starting to catch up to David Farmer. Holder, one of those drivers that raced his way into the top 8, but just not able to get it done for the final 4. Martinsville, kind of a coin toss for a lot of these guys. And we had a pretty mistake-free race, but it did get rather heated towards the end. And a car off the racetrack. That's Atkins getting really loose coming out of turn 2. He's going to get really, really loose here on the outside line. This car steps all the way out on him. Able to hold on to it there. Losing a little bit more ground, 9.3 seconds back now from Shutters. Shutters stretches out the lead to about 2 seconds. 43 laps into this race. Hawkins trying to figure out what he can do to catch up to that 44. Is getting smaller and smaller. You can see the stretch of the lead here. Holder up to 3rd. Farmer back to 4th now. There's the 84 car trying to run the high line. We didn't see too much of that there on the beginning run, but he has moved it up the racetrack, and it seems to me that he's struggling a tight condition down there on the bottom, but you have to be careful moving it up the racetrack as he dives to the bottom in 1 and 2. Just searching for some speed, probably looking for some grip. This car looks like it's fallen off the pace, about 8 seconds back. Shutters has turned on the afterburner. Hawkins stagnating that lead a little bit, not quite the gain that the 44 was getting before, but it's still pretty impressive. Shutters able to hold on to the tires, save his stuff in the early run. Watched the 14 and the 84 go back and forth. And I think that's kind of the product that we're seeing is the 14 and the 84 just used up their stuff too early in this race. So approaching green flag pit stops for some of these drivers. The fuel windows will be somewhere around the 60 lap mark. You can see the 44 getting a little bit loose there on the exit, but he's still got the speed, and all these drivers, with the exception of Silvers and Reinstedel, have been pretty even. Reinstedel is 19.2 seconds back, so a little bit of an off night tonight for the 11. But still a long way to go. Anything can happen. Still plenty of time for maybe a caution to bring the 11 back up here to the lead. But right now, the interval has grown to almost 20 seconds. James Silver's 24.5 seconds back. There you can see Jonathan Atkins starting to creep back up to David Farmer. Maybe a change here for the 5th spot, or 4th spot rather. Farmer holding it down on the bottom. Here comes the 57 to the outside, way up against the wall. Can he get the drive off and keep it off there? He will, and here's the run down the backstretch, a change for 4th position. And a little bit tight there up against the wall. Farmer is going to come back up to 4th. While these drivers are running side by side, they lost about half a second to the leaders. A little bit of fuel saving going on here for the 44. Yellow flag is out. That'll be the stage break here. We'll have 2 stage breaks here tonight. Winner of stage number 1. Radburn Shutters with 21 laps led. Pit stop's about to be underway. Our second stage break will be at lap 100 here tonight. Radburn Shutter is going to lead him down pit road. I would assume all of these drivers are going to take 4 tires. That would make sense to me, personally. And everyone going to come down pit road. Four tires going on these machines. There's the 84 getting service to his machine. The 44 going to be down and away now. And just inching out the 14 on pit road. Looks like the 84 might have got a speeding penalty. Watching Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed. Stage number 1, won by the 44 of Shutters. We're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll be back with you for the second stage of the race tonight, right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live, V-Speed. Bluegrass Cup Series back underway for stage number 2. Radburn Shutters going to lead them into turn 1. Do we see more of the same as we saw last time, where these drivers struggled to keep the tires on it after about 10 laps? And will the 84 of Farmer be able to recover after losing positions? Battle for the lead, big time here with the 14 diving to the inside. He's got the run on the 44. Shutters doing a phenomenal job last time to save those tires. So to lead the first lap of stage number 2 up to speed, it's Hawkins. Everybody pulling up on that outside line, trying to get the run. Rafael Hubi now passing for the second position. To the outside of Shutters. Holder now peeking to the middle. Brandon Holder started to show a little bit of speed there at the tail end of that run last time. Hawkins with that clean air now going to make a big difference. He's able to pull away about half a second from these second and third place drivers running side by side. Almost looking like a pace lap here down the backstretch as the 57 way up high there. Atkins going to get a good run though down the front stretch. Almost some 3 wide as Atkins gets another run on Hubi. The 44 of Shutters. These 3 drivers have lost sight of Hawkins. He's now almost a second ahead. Hubi into the wall here on the exit of 4. That's going to take him 3 wide down the front stretch. Now Brandon Holder back into the picture. You can hear these drivers shifting. Wasn't a lot of that in practice. These guys were staying in 4th gear for pretty much the entirety of the straightaways. Battle for second position. Atkins goes by the 21 of Hubi. That stage win, the 44 has a little bit of an advantage. But the guy coming in second position to him is now the leader. With it all boiling down to points or finishing order, this is going to be kind of tough to calculate here. And now stretching out the lead to about a full second. Hawkins starting to pull away from the rest of the field. That high line, treacherous for some of these guys, but Atkins has done a pretty good job here tonight running up high. You can see him enter 3 and 4. Taking the Darlington line around Homestead. Battle for third. Hoobie has the 44 of Shutters in there briefly to the inside. Not able to get the run down the backstretch. Now a dive to the inside for the 44, trying to take away the third position. Brandon Holder, who hasn't really been able to pass here tonight. Sticking true, though, keeping these two honest. The 21 now gets a little tight on the exit of 4, and Holder now peeking to the inside for fourth rather. The 9 car dives it down, maybe gonna do a slide job here. And he'll take it over on lap 64. Where in the world is David Farmer here tonight? He has fallen off quite considerably from these leaders. Marking back 2.9 seconds. And Hawkins maybe used up that car. A big run here for Atkins. 57 starting to surge back to the front. Atkins was one of the top 8 as well. Coming in here tonight, trying to prove that he deserves to be in this top 4. Takes it up on the outside, and he's going to get another good run here on the 14. And a little wall ride there, gets back to the throttle a little bit too soon. Going to lose all of that ground. It falls back to about a full second again. You can see all those stripes up on the outside wall. That's what it gets you running that high line. You can very quickly end up wall riding and not be able to pull off. You just saw that with Atkins rather, a moment ago. Now not quite the momentum that he had a moment ago, and he's fallen 0.7 of a second. Good run down the front stretch, though. He's got the lap times to match, a 33.669. So he is keeping pace with the lead. Just seemed like he got back to the throttle a little bit too soon that last time, trying to pass on the outside. Brandon Holder going to work back on the 44. He has been able to make a couple passes here recently. It's around the 21 of Hoobie. But I'm curious to see if the 84 Farmer is saving tires maybe for the next stint. If these guys have limited sets, not exactly sure. The next stage break coming at lap 100. It might be a factor that these guys won't be able to take tires on the next stage break. That might be the plan here for the 84. But 5 seconds back from the lead pack. A lot of ground to make up. It'll happen there under caution. Maybe not pressing the issue here for the 84. So really only one car is running that outside line. As you can see here, it's the 57 of Atkins. You go back to Shutters and Holder. They're digging down on the bottom. Rafael Hubi, who's also been running the bottom line here as of late. Remember, the 21 was running the outside to begin this race. There's a good shot of the pace car. Hasn't had to come out much tonight. A pretty good spread here amongst the lead. The top five, 2.6 seconds separate them. Fifth place driver Rafael Hubi with 4 laps led here tonight. Started in 5th. He's running 5th. As we approach the next stage break, it looks like Hawkins might be able to run away with this one. On board here with the 9 of Holder as these drivers start to catch back up to Atkins and Hawkins. You can see the time starting to trim down. 2.3 seconds a moment ago. Shutters leading them right back up to the 14. Long run speed of the 44 last time in the first stage. Starting to show through now as they are about 15, 16 laps in for the second. About half a second separating the 44 and the 57. Shutters is all but there now. Going to be a quick battle here for second position as you see the 44 get to the inside of Atkins. He's going to move up the racetrack now and has the position 2.1 seconds back from the 14 of Hawkins and about 23 laps left to do it. Side by side back here with Holder getting by the 57. Atkins still committed to that high line, and it hasn't been working since he clipped the wall there on the exit of 4. Lead stays at about 2.1 seconds. Second through 4th position. Still pretty tight battle. As you see, Rafael Hubi gets around the 57. So another position lost for the Atkins machine, and I'd have to say that the 57 clipping the wall probably didn't really do damage to it, but running that high line, it's shown that their speed up there initially, the tire fall off, is pretty major. Last time by a 34.3. Everyone else on the racetrack is running 33s. So the 57 has, looks like he's elected to take it. He is towed back to pit road and will be done for the night. Great job here by Hawkins to maintain this cushion of 2.2 seconds. We saw a little bit of this earlier with Farmer and Hawkins as well, where they pulled out to a pretty major lead, but lost a lot of it. Shutters was able to get around them late in the run. About 20 laps left before the stage break. You can see that lead starting to shave down. It's below 2 seconds, 1.8 as they enter turn 1. Checking back in with your top 4 in points. Hawkins leading this race right now. He has 43 laps led. The next driver in line is Radburn Shutters. He's running a second. He's led 25 laps and had stage 1. And you've got Rafael Hubi running in the 4th position, trying to get by the 9 of Brandon Holder. Is catching back up to him. And then David Farmer, 6.3 seconds back from the lead. Started on the pole here tonight. He led 10 laps, but since then hasn't had the pace to maintain that lead. Run here for 3rd position. The 21 of Hubi going to get right up to the bumper of Holder as they go into turn 1. The 21 has moved it up a line, running up there about where Atkins was. Side by side on the outside for the 21. This is for the 3rd spot. First battle on the track that we've had in quite some time. Going to take away the 3rd position here on lap 87. Can he catch up to the 44? He's about 3.2 seconds back. The battle's still kind of on for third position. The 9 of Holder hasn't let go of Hoobie. A little bit of a gap starting to grow there as you see the 21 running that higher line. He's moved it down to the middle. That's allowed Holder to kind of catch back up as he's changed his line. That car's starting to show a little bit of a tight condition on the entrance of these corners, now diving it all the way down to the bottom. Just hunting for that speed. The 21 knows that he's losing ground to the leaders. The 14 lost about a tenth that last time by. And as we approach 10 laps to go in this stage, is it enough of a cushion that Shutters won't be able to catch up to Hawkins? There you see the lead grow back to 1.8 seconds, so a little mistake there from Shutters that last time by. Matching lap times of 34.1. And Hawkins has enough cushion here that he can wrap this thing up for stage number 2 if he doesn't make any mistakes. Back into the top 5 now for the number 84. Farmer's starting to make a resurgence as we wind down this stage break. He's caught back up to the 21 of Hoobie. Could see a battle here for the 4th and 3rd position. There on the inside from Farmer. Gonna be right up on this bumper down the back stretch. Probably gonna dive it back down to the inside. You can see Hoobie running a little bit higher line as the 84 goes down to the bottom. Change for 4th spot currently, and the 84 is able to complete that pass coming out of turn 4. Phenomenal job. Impressive drive here for the 14 in the 2nd stage. Gonna get the 5 to go signal this time around. So Farmer knowing what he needs to do, he needs to get up here and get the stage points and I don't know if those play a factor, if it's based off the very final finishing order, but I would have to assume that since we have stages, they do factor into these points. And the 84 car is going to bring it up to third just before the second stage break. Still a 2-second gap back to the 44 of Shutters, stage 1 winner. Hawkins now in the hunt. If he can complete the next 3 laps. Driver that's not in the top 4 that is in the top 4 in points here tonight, just outside the top 4 as he tries to chase Brandon Holder down. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so. Hawkins going to get the white flag this time around for stage number 2. Down the backstretch here for one more time, coming into 3 and 4, and off of this final corner with a 2.7 second gap back to Radburn Shutters. Stage number 2 belongs to the 14 of Hawkins. So now cycling around to catch up to the pace car. I assume we're going to see the same where all these drivers come down pit road, but like I said, if there's a limited tire set, do some of these drivers gamble? Have they been saving? Do they push the issue later in the run? We'll have to find out. We cycle back around the 14, getting caught up to the pace car now. We'll have about 160 laps to go when we go back green. One retirement of the race tonight, the 57 of Jonathan Atkins. He was flirting with the lead, had a brush with the wall, fell back to about 7th, and he parked it for the night. Everybody coming down pit road now. Brandon Holder, a little late entry, but makes it down to the commitment cone. And Hawkins leading them in for the second pit stops of the day. Doesn't look like any audibles were called. Everybody going to take 4 tires and a fill up on fuel. The 14 left side's going up now. Going to be down and away here for the number 14 now. Rafael Huby, Brandon Holder, a tight battle there off of pit road. And David Farmer going to get away a position from the 9. The 44 of Shutters falls back to 4th after that pit stop. So a couple positions lost. Stage number 2 going to the number 14. Stage number 1 to the 44 of Shutters. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We're going to take another quick commercial break. This is the season finale here at Homestead. We'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live on Bluegrass TV and V-Speed. The Bluegrass Cup Series about to be underway for stage number 3. 161 laps left to be raced here at Homestead, and we're back live and racing. Into turn 1 is Hawkins. Now David Farmer, who picked up a lot of positions there on pit road, is back up to the top 3. He's in the second position. He has Shutters right behind him. James Silver's now into the top 5 after that. First time we can say that for the 17 here tonight. He's got Rafael Hubi on the outside in the 5th spot. Hawkins has led 67 laps here tonight. Gonna tack on another one as they come out of turns 3 and 4. Competition has gotten kind of quiet here for the 14. But Farmer, who's kind of turned up the heat in the 3rd stage, hanging right with them as they go into 1 and 2. Changing up his line a little bit too. Farmer hasn't really ran like that. Everybody that's committed to the bottom has hugged that bottom white line, but you can see the 84 is moving it up about a lane to keep clean air on the nose of that machine. Keeping that right front with some downforce, helping that car steer and keeping it within a couple tenths of the 14. Otto for the lead, heating up now, all over the back bumper of the 14 of Hawkins. The 84 of Farmer going to take it to the outside line as they go into 3 and 4. A little brush with the wall there by the 14. This is more like what we saw at the beginning of this race. And the 14 tries to dive it down there to the bottom. Farmer doesn't give him the room. And looks like the 84 going to complete this pass for the lead on lap 111. Shutters, who's pretty much masterfully done tire saving this entire race. Kind of came back to bite him a little bit there on that last run, but he did come out with a second place in the second stage. Quietly sitting back here in third, and I would assume doing the same thing he did at the beginning of this race. Letting these guys get up here side by side, trade back and forth for the lead, and 20 laps into the run, we'll catch back up to these drivers. Battle here for this 5th position. Hoobie to the inside of Silvers. Gonna take away that spot. Dustin Ryan settle back in the 7th position right now. He's down 1 from where he began this race. A little bit off the pace here tonight for the 11. So the lead starts to grow a little bit, 0.6 of a second over the 14 of Hawkins. David Farmer starting to show strength in the third and late stage of this race. 114 laps completed out of 267 here tonight. Stage 2 winner GT Hawkins trying to capitalize on the good track position after pit stops. He loses the lead on lap 111. Radburn Shutters sitting back quietly in the 3rd spot. So all these drivers, really, it's going to come down to who finishes the best. And we had the points factored in. I guess that was kind of a mistake on my part. But based off the statistics here tonight with this final 4, we'll bring it up on your screen again. The stage winners of the night with Hawkins and Shutters. Farmer has to do what he's doing right now and lead this thing all the way to the end. Raphael Hoobie a little bit off the pace here tonight, passing it around Brandon Holder. He's part of this top 4, but he hasn't really shown that he has pace to keep up with the top 3. See him all the way on the back bumper of the 9 of Holder for 4th. Just pushing down the straightaways, that beach ball effect that you send a guy into the corner. You see Holder starting to get a little loose, and that's what it does. It makes you overdrive and overthink the corner entry. Puts you in a situation where you use up your stuff, and now the 21 looks like he might take away 4th position. And a brush with the wall there on the exit of 4. He won't take it away. Holder going to hold on for another lap. So now 18 laps led for the 84 car. Farmer putting it down when he needs to. Tightening up this points battle in the last stage of this race. 147 laps remaining. It's been a good one so far. 9 lead changes with our 2 stage breaks. It's been clean and green in regulation. Air temperature here today, 81 degrees, 93 degree track temperature, and that hasn't changed too much. Not a lot of cars on this racetrack here tonight to really affect that, but the weather has been pretty stationary with partly cloudy. Occasionally we see some cloud cover in the one side or the other of this racetrack. You can see it's a little bit darkened on the front stretch, but down the back stretch, sun is out. This track very hot. And it's been greasy and slick. Guys searching for grip all night. You can see the lead grow a little bit more as Farmer pulls out to almost a full second. Shutter starting to surge back forward now. The 9 of Holder, the 21 of Hooby just behind him. So the top 5 have split off. Abe Silvers, who was up in the top 5 a moment ago, back to 6th position. Dustin Reinstedel just behind him. Reinstedel might get this position now as he dives to the bottom in 1 and 2. Now down to the inside, all the way down on the bottom, gets really loose, and he's going to lose that ground. Thought he was going to have the position. Oh, Holder gets very loose off of turn 4. That does open up the door for Hooby to get side by side and take over the 4th position. And this might be what the 21 car needs to start running in clean air and catch up to the 44. So about halfway through this race, David Farmer, your leader, GT Hawkins second, Radburn Shutters, and Rafael Hooby, the top 4. And this is the final 4 in the points. So it's only fitting that they would be top 4 for this championship race. But here on V-Speed at the halfway mark, we like to do something a little usual that, you know, other broadcasters have done before, but if you know where the volume knob is, now's the time to find it. Let's turn it up here for a couple laps with the top 4 in points. Lead has shrunk down. David Farmer down to half a second over Hawkins. And Shutters only 1 second back. The accordion effect has happened now, and it looks like the 84 Farmer in that clean air might have overdrove his stuff a little bit here as they approach lap 131. Coming out of turn 4 now, the 14 of Hawkins diving it down to the very bottom, running that white line that Farmer was running a moment ago. Able to get a good run here down the front stretch and trim off another 10th that time by. Two-hundredths of a second as they come off of turn 4 across the start-finish line. Farmer holding on for another lap. Hoobie back there in the back of that frame is 1.8 seconds back. This top 4 in points starting to tighten up. Down to the bottom for the lead, into the inside for Hawkins. These two gonna get racing side by side in a really loose condition there for Farmer. He has to catch it. That changes the lead and second position. Let's go back with the answer replay and find out what happened here. Looked like the nose just lost there for the 84. That's going to cost 2 positions there for Farmer. Now he gets the car back underneath of him. Hawkins starting to pull away. Shutters now half a second back from the lead. So our 10th lead change of the night. And that's rather impressive for the size of this field. Little change up of the line there for the 84 Farmer. Rafael Hoobie, 1.2 seconds back. He's been pretty committed to the top line all night long. And it just hasn't been able to catch up. I think the high line is using up the tires way too fast. It does get you a good run down the straightaways. But for how long can you run that high line? That's what it's really boiled down to. These guys have been up there. They've been flirting with the wall. And you saw Atkins get a brush with it. 57 car taking an early vacation from this race after making a little mistake there. So it's back to the 14. Hawkins takes over the lead on lap 133. Most laps led here of 75. The number 14. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We're going to take another short commercial break. We'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Both go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in the liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and you're good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
.145 laps in, you're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. This guy right here, he's led 83 of those 145 and a Stage 2 win. GT Hawkins putting it down out there. With it keeping him honest, though, is the 44 of Radburn Shutters. Back here to David Farmer, who's fallen back to third, 4.5 seconds back now. Farmer leading the first of these 30-so laps to start the final stage of tonight. In the season finale here at Homestead, the points battle has been tight. Rafael Hubi back in 5th. The 4 drivers that need great finishes here: Hawkins, Shutters, Farmer, and Hubi. It's going to come down to who finishes the best. You've got Brandon Holder in the 3rd spot, proving that he deserved to be up here in this top 4 and just missing the cutoff line for the final 4, running in 3rd here tonight. So an impressive drive there with a 9. It's been back and forth here tonight. A race recap with 10 lead changes, 2 cautions, Clean and green during regulation. If you're just joining us, it's been action-packed here for the limited car field. I know that we were used to having 20-plus cars during the season, but it's come down to the final 4, and it's going to be tight either way. Since we're at the 148 lap mark, this gives me an opportunity to pull in Jason Collins with Bluegrass. I know that he was muted there for a second, so he might be AFK, but we'll pull him up here in the broadcast booth. And I have to say that as far as points battles go, this has been tight all the way through the season, Jason. So to see it come down to these final 4, they really have been on top of each other all season long with their finishing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been the one race after the other. It's been the same thing. These guys show week in, week out why they're racing for a top 4 right now, or for a championship with just the top 4 guys. You take a field of 37, I believe is what we started the season with, 36, 37. You take a field of that size and you take 4 guys out of that show that week in, week out, they are just, the guy to beat.
It's been like that, and I know I joined right around race number 8 or so in the season, and it was some of the names that we see up here in the top 4. Brandon Holder just barely missing the mark, but he was also very impressive. And then you had Hubie, who was masterful in some of the road courses we went to.
Yes.
And so saving the tires has been kind of the option here for the 21. Here tonight, though, a little struggle for some of these guys. You see Farmer falling all the way back to 6th. What's your take here on what's going on with the 84?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. He was pushing early there in that first stage, pushing hard, and maybe in the second stage he kind of fell back. Maybe he was testing something, possibly testing a slower pace to see if he could save some tire. And maybe that didn't work out, so he tried something a little different, and perhaps that's just not being. And we do have 120 laps almost, I think. 116 laps to go. So maybe he's just holding back. Maybe he knows something the rest of us don't.
Have to wait and see. There is a reason why he is up there in the points lead here coming into tonight. But GT Hawkins getting that second stage and leading this race. Lap 152 completed now as they go by.
GT is the reigning champion of the Cup Series. He has a reason why he's doing what he's doing. Radburn, though, showing once again why he's in the Final 4. Every single season he's ran in Bluegrass, 3 in a row he's been in the Final 4. First 2 with Xfinity, and now his first season in Cup. Bam, Final 4. So he's proven why he's there. He's got the patience. He's got the know-how. He's got the drive to do it. It's just, is GT a little bit better? I don't know. We'll see.
Saw that lead shaved down about 0.2 of a second that last time by. So Shutters is keeping pace with Hawkins, keeping him honest here. They've pulled about 9 seconds ahead. Pretty sizable gap to 3rd position.
Yeah, Holder is a former Final 4 contestant as well. Didn't make the cut this season, but he's done it multiple seasons before. And him being 9 seconds behind, man, that's huge. Like, that shows just that these 2 guys, being GT and Radburn, they're out on an island, and it's a matter of whether these guys can catch them. I mean, they've got to do something different because what they're doing is not working. Clearly, they're falling so far back. I don't see, unless they're trying to cut out a pit stop. Maybe that could be what they're doing, is trying to cut out a stop, saving fuel, and try to make this thing. I guess let's see. We got 167 to go, 65. Yeah, probably. They were probably trying to make it on 1 stop, I guess. I don't know. They probably should have made it on 1 stop anyways, but I'm not 100% on what the range is when you're wide open, where like GT and Radburn. Let's see, 167.
I know that Farmer came down pit road about 8 laps ago, so he would be in that 2-stop realm. It might be one of those things where he already knows and he just started to split the run.
It's a very good possibility. I mean, it says if you can get 65 laps to the good, you still have to. It's 2.5 stops technically, 2.6 stops. So it looks like they would just be, a little short, kind of, potentially having to have 3 stops instead of just the 2. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's trying to stretch it where he only has to stop the 2 times, and I guess we'll figure it out.
157 laps complete. 100 laps to go as they come around the backstretch. I appreciate you giving my voice a break here. I know that this is the longest race of the season, but it's been hell on my voice.
Oh, I can imagine. Still, we've been at it for hour 48. Hour and a half roughly, because we were a little bit late on starting the night. A couple minutes, 2 minutes, I think. So, yeah, I definitely can feel your pain, man. That's a long time, and then we still got quite a bit to go. So,
it's a matter of pacing yourself, like some of these drivers out here on the racetrack, trying to find that happy medium between pushing things and taking that little break to maybe size up an opponent or find some speed. We've seen multiple lines, and Homestead here with the new tire model. It seems like the outer side groove has carried the speed, but it doesn't last very long. You saw it a lot at the start of this race. Everybody was passing, running side by side, but it seems like the bottom is where you want to be as this race has progressed.
100%. The bottom groove is where you want to try to spend most of your time. Save as much tire as you can. Even if the top's faster, you're still taking a chance of burning your right rear up, especially with 100% fuel load, because this is a full length race. 267 complete total laps. So, I'm not sure what else to say, but the bottom groove is just more dominant. And if you run the bottom early, that allows you to run the top late. And it's not so bad. You kind of even out that right rear with the right front, because that bottom will eat up the right front a little bit more. So,
44 car coming down pit road, pitting from second position. You saw the pretty sizable gap there. Brandon Holder just now getting by the 44 car. This will probably force the hand of the 14. He'll have to come down probably within the next 2 laps if he doesn't want to lose any ground to the 44. And that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yep, there he comes. You see him rolling down the pits right now. He knows that he had to come in and follow up. If you need me again, Bradley, just pull me up and let me know, man, and I'll be around listening.
We appreciate your time there. Jason Collins, owner and of Bluegrass Cup Series, back down to the hauler, and here we go with pit stops. Hawkins, we got Holder staying out another lap. He's going to get a lap lead here. He hasn't had one today, so the 9 coming around the backstretch. Started back at 7th position. He's shown good pace. He's up in the top 3 as this all cycles out. But the 44 pitting early, forcing the hand of the 14 of Hawkins, who's just now getting off of the pit road access. Here comes the 44 of Shutters. There's going to be about 2 lap difference in tires as you see the 44 go by. Rafael Huby and David Farmer are second and third position. Holder has a 4-second lead over the 21, and now the 9 car coming down pit road. Good entry for the 9. He'll probably make up a little bit of time with that entrance. Huby's going to stay out another lap. You see him running the high line still. I would have to venture to say he'll be the next car down pit road. Last one on this stint, 60 laps. And now with 100 laps to go, I would venture to say these cars will probably pit somewhere around lap 210 to split that run in half. Who's going to stay out another lap? David Farmer, one of the first cars down pit road, didn't get much of an advantage, and he's going to have 16 lap older tires than Hawkins and Shutters. So It won't take very long with the tire fall off. The 84 car might lose this position very soon. It's about 1.6 seconds ahead of Shutters as they come out of turn 4. Shutters able to get by Hawkins during those pit stops. He showed that he could match pace with him during that last stint. So it's going to be tough for the 14 to get back around the 44. Now that it all cycles through, Hoobie probably coming down this time by. I venture to say that the 21's just kind of in a desperation move. He's going to try to stretch this as far as he can. But the longer he stays out, the more ground he's going to lose, and he's going to lose that time to make that ground back up. I know we still have exactly 100 laps left to go, but it's still going to be a matter of Hoobie being that far back. I don't see a scenario where the 21 car is going to be able to catch up to the 44 and the 14. But good work there on pit road for the 44 to get by Hawkins, and this shakes things up a little bit here for the top two, because once Hoobie hits pit road as he does, Farmer with the older tires probably not going to be able to maintain this lead for very much longer. You can see the lead dwindling down to under a second on lap 168. So another lap led here for Farmer. He's probably going to get a couple of these, and then Shutters and Hawkins are going to navigate around him. So there it is, a battle for the lead as they come across the very cloudy front stretch. A little tag with the wall there for Farmer, and now Shutters to the inside. Gonna have another lead change. This will be the 13th, 14th one of the day. And side by side down the backstretch, the 44 of Shutters has to make quick work of this if he doesn't want Hawkins to catch up. A little bit of a fight there from the 84, but the difference in tires just not going to be able to put up much of a fight at all. And now it's just a matter of mitigating that damage, waiting for lap 210 so the 84 can come back down pit road and maybe have a good run at the end. He did change his situation a little bit by short pitting, but I think the 44 and the 14 are going to be the two cars to beat here tonight as this all shakes out. 1.3 seconds back to Hawkins. I think once green flag pit stops, the final set happens, whoever can do it a little bit better is going to come out on top. Side by side for second position. Farmer holding on to the outside line down the backstretch. It's a decent enough run out of the exit, but that dive down to the inside, the 14's just going to be able to get it. So 1.1 seconds is the lead for the 44. Shutters takes over the lead on lap 172. And 29 laps led for the 44. Less than 100 to go here tonight. The season finale Bluegrass Cup Series. Who's it going to be? Can Shutters come out on top? Does Hawkins have a trick up his sleeve? We're going to take another quick commercial break live here on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. And we'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The road gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back live at Homestead. Bluegrass Cup Series has completed 180 laps of their 267 here tonight. Radburn Shutters has led 35 of those laps. GT Hawkins has narrowed that lead down to just under half a second as they come off of turn 4. I tell you what, the action has been clean, it's been green. But we're about to see maybe our 15th lead change of the night as the 14 car approaches the back of the 44. Approaching those green flag pit stops, these drivers do not have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. Some drivers, like David Farmer, pitting a little bit sooner than the rest of this field. And we saw Hawkins and Shutters pit within a lap of each other, 22 and 21 laps on this stint. Lap 210, probably going to be the sweet spot here. We're splitting this run in half. I'm interested to see which one of these two drivers is going to come down there first. You can see the lead over Farmer has grown to 6 seconds, and the 84 car probably gonna pit a little shorter than both these drivers. It worked out for him in the last time. He was able to make up a lot of ground and get up to the lead for a brief moment there. But what's up the sleeve here for the 84? I have no idea. As far as strategy goes, stage break winners. The 44 of Shutters getting stage number 1. The 14 of Hawkins getting stage number 2. The top 4 in points are running first, second, third, and fifth. Rafael Hubi, 27.1 seconds back after staying out the longest on that stint. He's got about 10 lap fresher tires, and he is making up a little bit of ground on the leaders, but not much. Lap 187 about to begin. You see the number 11 of Reinstedel about to go a lap down. He's 31.3 seconds back from these leaders. You see him running that high groove, trying to stay up out of the way. The 44, the 14. Looking like maybe a side-by-side battle about to happen any moment now. Chudder's doing a phenomenal job here, though, of keeping the 14 in check and keeping them at bay as they go to the inside of the 11 here on the exit of 4. You see the 14 have to take a little bit different exit, and that loses him about a tenth that time by. Identical lap times, a 33.791 for both these drivers. And that lap car buys the 44 a little bit more time, but inevitably, I think the 14 is going to be able to get by him. We have about 20 laps or so to that sweet spot for pit stops. Rafael Hubi proving that you can go over 60 laps, but I wouldn't think these drivers would want to run that full stint. 50 probably seems the most logical. And you see the 44 stretch that lead back out now to half a second. Checking back in with David Farmer, 9.3 seconds back now from the leaders. Brandon Holder is an additional 10 seconds back in the 4th spot. Rafael Hubi, the top 5. He is the last car on the lead lap. Dustin Reinstedel and James Silvers, they've both been kind of off the pace here tonight. There's the 17 running in 7th back on the front stretch, and there's the 11 who went a lap down just a moment ago. These two drivers sticking it out here tonight in the season finale in Bluegrass Cup Series. The battle for the lead that I thought was going to happen hasn't happened yet. About 19 laps to go before pit stops. These two drivers are the ones to watch for the championship. Final four up on your screen now. Farmer, who's had kind of a tough and off night here. Hawkins and Hooby probably going to spread apart. And this coming down to the final finishing order of what will be announced. I would say Hooby and Farmer kind of out of the picture here. So it's boiled down to these two drivers, second and fourth and points. I'm interested to see who's going to have what it takes to finish this out, because both these drivers a little bit loose there off the exit of 4 for the 44. Now GT starting to catch back up. That diamond a little bit lower than the 14. He's getting an earlier entry than the 44, and it looks like he's probably going to get the run here off the exit down the backstretch, as he holds right there on the 2/10 line. Last time by, he was a 10th faster than Shutters. He's going to complete this pass just before green flag pit stops. Right up on the back bumper now with the 44. The pressure on Shutters to not make a mistake. Battle for the lead in full force now. Taking a little bit of air off the rear spoiler in the 44 as they go into 3. A little bit of an overshoot there, and going to open up the door now for the 14 of Hawkins to take over the lead on lap 196. Side by side down the front straightaway. One last lap led for Shutters, and now Hawkins takes it over. We know Shutters was doing well in the clean air, but now that he's behind the 14, what is he going to be able to do with this run to finish out these next 7 or 8 laps? Changing up the line a little bit there into 1 and 2 to maintain. Running that high line will get you a little bit of a boost down the straightaways, down to the bottom in 3 and 4. He hangs right with them at 0.2 of a second. Another good run here into 1. You can kind of see the difference in lines there coming into play, and in that dirty air in 3 and 4. Shutters has lost a little bit more ground that time by about 1/10 of a second, with Hawkins running the bottom all the way around this racetrack. Shutters just trying to maintain that gap so when pit stops do happen, he's close enough that he doesn't lose sight of the 14. He has to be perfect here. Third position, Farmer has not hit pit road yet. 53 laps on this stint. We know with Hubie, you were able to make it over 60 laps. But Farmer's so far off from these leaders that it would take something dramatic. 2 tire stop, maybe factored in. I don't think that anyone's going to try that. But if I'm the 84 car, this is the last race. You might as well go for gold. I don't know what else to do for the 84. He's just a little off pace here tonight. Got to make up a lot of time. Now you see the lead stretch out to almost a full second. The 44 car did make that mistake at 3 and 4. So another driver has taken an early retirement from the race here tonight. The 21 of Hubie has parked it behind the wall. So officially it is down to these 2 drivers, with Farmer about 15 seconds kind of out of the picture. These 2 drivers both getting a stage win. You can see that gap growing a little bit more each lap, almost to a full second now. It is a full second as they come off of turn 2. So Shutters forced the hand of Hawkins the last time they hit the pit road. Probably going to see more of the same, as Shutters was able to get on and off a little bit faster than Hawkins, stretch that lead out. But he's going to have to be perfect and maintain that gap. He fell a little bit short this time around. He's going to have to be able to keep it in front of the 14 and have something there for the end. So it all boils down to these 2 drivers and what they can do. Don't count Farmer out yet. We could have a late race caution that puts him back in the hunt. But as now where it sits, 17 seconds back, I don't think it's doable here for the 84. There's your 4th place driver, last car on the lead lap. That's Brandon Holder. 2 cars a lap down. You've got Dustin Reinsettle and James Silvers in the 17 and 6th place. So only 6 cars left out here on the field, on the track at Homestead. 60 laps to go, and Hawkins stretching the lead out to 1.5 into turn 3. Now we're approaching that sweet spot window of where cars could come down pit road. We're just trying to factor in what the 44 can do in this situation. The longer he stays out, the worse it's going to be. The tougher it's going to be to gain that ground back up. But he also doesn't want to pit too short on Hawkins, who might stay out a little bit longer. Hawkins stretches this lead out to over 2 seconds, and it might be impossible for Shutters to get around him on pit road like he did last time. And it's going to come down to that couple tenths in the pit lane. Who's going to be able to do it a little bit better? Hawkins has shown that he can get on pit road a little bit, or rather Shutters a little bit faster last time through. Almost a full second down pit lane quicker overall, and that was translated onto the racetrack where he took over the lead. Lap 168. So Farmer does come down pit road for his second stop of the night. Gets back out on the racetrack. He is making up a little bit of ground. About a full second faster than the rest of these cars that haven't hit pit road just yet. There's Dustin Reinstedel on pit road. Brandon Holder hitting it as well. Lap 212 for these drivers. And Hawkins Shutters still out there on the racetrack. 2 seconds separating the two drivers. Which two are going to be the first ones of this group? This is going to dictate the championship. Who can do on and off pit road a little bit quicker, and are they going to be able to hold on to the position? The lead grows to 2.5 seconds with just about 50 laps to go. The 84 Farmer, who shorts pit by about 6 laps, this could be a deciding factor. These guys staying out a little bit longer. You saw the 84 was able to take over the lead. Does he make up enough time for every lap that these two drivers stay out? There's the 44 coming down pit road now. So going to force the hand of Hawkins. Has to be perfect in the stall. He hits it perfectly. Here's the 14 now coming down pit road. Down and away for the 44. The Shutters back out on the racetrack. 38.1 seconds in pit lane for the 44 car. Hawkins hits his stall perfectly. That little bit of ground that needed to be made up. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. Shutter's not going to be able to make up that ground like he did before. Perfect pit stop for the 14. Now it's a matter of if he can catch up. 1.3 seconds. And it appears that I fell through on the session here. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Slack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back here live at Homestead after a little technical issue there with the PC. 1.4 second lead for GT Hawkins. 222 laps here tonight completed at Homestead in the season finale for Bluegrass Cup Series. And as that lead grows a little bit more each lap, Shutter's sitting back, maybe saving his stuff a little bit, but down pit road, it was Hawkins that was a little bit faster that time. And he prevents the 44 from getting to the lead in the final stage of this race. 44 laps to go. There's the lead that Hawkins has over Shutters. David Farmer shaved a little bit of time off by staying out, or short pitting rather, and he did get the lead down to about 10 seconds, but it's just not going to be enough. Holder gets back on the lead lap. He's 21 seconds off of this time. These two drivers came to play here tonight. Checking in with some of the other drivers that are out here on the racetrack. You have the 5th place driver, Dustin Reinstedel. He is being scored 1 lap down here tonight, but a top 5 performance. He's been able to get through the attrition, stick this race out. And this has been a long one. 225 laps at 1.5 miles. It's driving across your entire state at this point. Unless you're from Rhode Island. You can do that in a blink of an eye. So the lead now growing to over 2 seconds. Hawkins trying to run away with it. Is he burning up his stuff? The Shutters have something for him with about 40 laps to go. If the 44 has anything, now's the time to turn up the heat. He doesn't want to let this lead grow out too much. He won't have the opportunity. So now he has to size up the 14. Last time by, 0.2 of a second faster for the 14 of Hawkins. So it seems like maybe the track has changed a little bit for the 44. He's not liking that bottom groove. He might consider moving it up a lane. On board with the 9 of Holder, the last car on the lead lap. And since we fell through on that last stint there, the statistics are going to be a little bit off, but starting position here for Holder was, I believe, the fifth spot. And he did get a couple laps led there during green flag pit stops. Holder was able to stay out a little bit longer. The 9 car going to probably come home in the 4th position. Farmer is definitely going to get 3rd. It's down to these 2 drivers, and that lead of 2.6 seconds is growing and growing every lap. With about 37 laps to go, Hawkins is running away with this championship. Shutters looking like he maybe had the opportunity, but they left it down on pit road, and that was the deciding factor to get this lead. For Hawkins, it's been a struggle the last couple races in this playoff. He had some off nights. He was able to do what he needed to make it to the final 4, but absolutely dominant performance here tonight. I know that the lead changes and that statistic's probably broken as well, but we've had over 15 of them here tonight. They went back and forth all race long, and Hawkins part of that starting run with Farmer and Ubi trading the lead in the first stage. Then it was more of Farmer, Shutters, and Hawkins in the second stage, Farmer falling all the way back to 6th. But to start off the final stage of tonight, the 84 had pulled out to a decent lead, not quite what, Hawkins has over Shutters right now, but he did have it at almost a full second. It just seems like the long run, the 84 car falls off. The lead grows over 3 seconds. And Hawkins is not looking back. Provided that nothing dramatic happens with a caution, we could be crowning the number 14 another championship here at Bluegrass. if the 44 car is saving anything, I think it's going to probably be a long shot. He needs a caution to get caught back up to this 14 car. I think Farmer absolutely has to have a caution for it to even be possible. And, you know, to run this race green outside of the stage breaks, you saw what Farmer had on the short run, but it's been the long run cars all race long. The 14 has just shown that he has the goods when it comes to getting on and off pit road here in the last stop. And he stretches what was already about a 2-second lead now to 3.5. It's stayed pretty much there since they came back off of pit road. He's doing a phenomenal job. He knew what he needed to do to come into this race tonight. We talked to him during the pre-race. Now it all comes down to this final finish. You got the second stage. Just a great job here. GT Hawkins looking like a champion here with Radburn Shutters trying to chase him down. 30 laps to go. Justin Reinstedel going to take over the third position. Not exactly sure what happened to the 84 Farmer, if he's got some problems here. But a change in the top three. Brandon Holder is down pit road with about 30 laps to go. This probably is a scheduled stop here for the 9. But he's got some heavy right side damage. And maybe a speeding penalty as well for the 9 as he's stuck down pit road. I don't know if he's repairing damage or... That's interesting. So Reinstedel, who stuck it out for the entirety of this race, finds himself possibly getting a top 3 to finish this one out. So kudos to the 11 car. We'll have to see if he has to pit one more time, but I think the 11 might be in a situation where he can stay out and make it to the end. Like I said, my statistics are all broken here after that fall through and the little technical difficulty that we had. I've been trying to get to the bottom of that because, you know, if I ever got into a race personally and that happened, I'd probably be a little upset. So I want to know that iRacing's not going to do that to me. It kind of interferes with the stats and the broadcasting. We do load back into the sessions relatively quickly. We have the simulator installed on a Gen 4 SSD, so it's not taking very long to get back in here, but it's just kind of an inconvenience to have to reload all these stats and kind of guess where we are. If I pull up the name right now, only 24 laps led? No. It's been well over 100 here tonight for Hawkins. But that's what happens when you reload into a session. Outside of that, coming down for the last 20 laps, this mile and a half they call Homestead, the season finale, and the long season that we have this year. Bluegrass Cup Series went to Daytona. Started out the season with Auto Club, Las Vegas, Pocono. I started the broadcast at Nashville Super Speedway just after week 12 at North Wilkesboro. Got familiar with some of the names and saw that the shape for the championship with what Hawkins was doing, it looked like he was the fan favorite, favored to win the championship, but the 44 of Shutters turned up the heat in the playoffs. You had the 84 of Farmer, who also did really, really well, and the 21 of Hubie had a few select races there where he was able to save tires and get some wins. Then you look at the statistics for wins overall. You had 3 of them for Hawkins, 3 of them for Hubie, 2 wins for Farmer. That win during the playoffs there for Shutters. So all these drivers that put it down out here this season. Coming down to the very end. The lead grows out to 4 seconds now with Hawkins just turning on the jets. And 20 laps to go as they cross the line. As it shakes back out, looked like Ryan Stedel losing the position to Farmer. Brandon Holder is going to be 11 laps down. He's parked it for the night. James Silver's still out there on the racetrack, going to get a top 5 here. 2 cars have retired from the session. Rafael Hubie and Jonathan Atkins out early. Atkins 200, well, let's say about 150 laps down, as my statistics are definitely broken. It doesn't look like the 44 of Shutters is going to have anything for GT Hawkins. This lead continues to grow. And I hate to call it early, but it's looking like Hawkins has got this thing wrapped up. I mean, what else can you say with the lead that big? And you see a couple tenths shaved off there, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And If you're the 44, you're going to have to pick up about 2/10 a lap here for the remainder of this race. A final charge here from the 44 would be miraculous. It's possible. It is very much possible. Last time by at 33.8 for the 14, a 33.7 roughly. 33.689 for Shutters. That's not quite enough. About a 10th there that time by. 33.780 to a 33.719. Just not enough sauce here for the 44. If he was saving his stuff, he might have waited too long. On the flip side here, Hawkins has pulled out such a massive lead that I don't even think it's going to matter. Lead does continue to shrink, though. It's down to about 3.3 seconds. And Hawkins down the backstretch. Last time by another 10th slower. Shutters is starting to turn up the heat here into the corners, and 3.2 as they come off of turn 4. This is more like what he needed there. About 5 laps sooner, I think he could have probably caught up to the 14. It's just not looking like it's going to happen. I see the lead shrinking. I'm sure everyone that's watching right now sees it getting down to about 3 seconds flat. 9 laps to go here. Last time by, just another 1/10 of a second faster in total. There's just not enough time at that pace for the 44 to catch up to the 14. They're in the same area code again, though. The last time by 3/10 of a second faster, and that's more like what he needs. He needs to do that every lap from here on out if he wants a chance. Seven laps to go. 2.5 second lead. It was just 5 laps ago we were talking about over a 3 second lead. So maybe Shutters has saved enough. He gets really loose coming off of 4. Maybe pushing that car a little bit too hard. Last time by, another 2/10. Lap traffic starting to become maybe a factor here. Lead down to 2.4. Again, don't think it's going to be enough. 2.2 seconds. I see Shutter's starting to turn up the heat. It's a couple tenths a lap. But it's just so inconsistent there with when he does it. 5 laps to go. 2 tenths in 5 laps. That's going to put him somewhere around half a second back before they get to the line. And that little mistake out of 4 the last time by cost him. He's gonna get it down below 2 seconds now. He is catching them, but I don't think there's enough time. Three laps to go to crown our champion. The 14 car is going to come around for the 2 to go mark. The 44 of Shutters had the lead down below 2 seconds. Now it gains back up to 2.3. Hawkins maybe saving his stuff a little bit here for the very last lap. And now it's down to this. The entire season, all the laps ran, all the wins, the top 5s, the statistics, they don't mean anything. It all boils down to this finish and what the 14 car has to do. The season finale for Bluegrass Cup Series, and a long season at that. "21 races this season, and the white flag in the air for the 14. He has one championship. He's about to get the second one. One last lap, one more time around here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And GT Hawkins with a 2-second lead off of turn 4. Your Bluegrass Cup Series champion and winner here tonight at Homestead is GT Hawkins in the number 14. Well over 150 laps led here tonight. He got another 49 as we came back into the session. But congratulations to the number 14 team. Just a dominating performance here in the championship fashion. And he had to do it. The playoff format, it all came down to that race. And he did what he had to do. Now taking it to the front stretch, let's burn it down through race winner and champion of the Cup Series, GT Hawkins. Post-race interview with your championship winner and the top three. We're going to take another quick commercial break here on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing isn't easy.
Back here live, Bluegrass Cup Series has concluded their 267-lap race at Homestead, Miami. In the season finale, the 21 race season has concluded. Your champion has been crowned, and the 14 of GT Hawkins able to edge out Radburn Shutters in the final stint of this race. Gathering them up down here on pit road, we have your second place in the points finisher, Radburn Shutters, and we're pulling him up in the broadcast booth now. "44 of Radburn Shutters, do you got a copy?"
Yep, I've got you.
Second place here tonight, and we saw you on and off pit road there in that second to last stint. You were able to get ahead of the 14 of Hawkins. Looked like you were catching him, but not enough time there. You were shaving a couple tenths off a lap. It boiled down to who pit when and who got that tire saving, and it looked like the track maybe changed for you a little bit there on that last run.
Yeah, that second to last run, I don't know what it was, just exhaustion or just, I don't know, man. I fell in a funk and couldn't get the car back, couldn't hit my line, couldn't really do anything that I wanted to do that I could earlier in the race. And it finally clicked in that last run when I caught back up with GT a little bit. Could at least, see his bumper. But yeah, that was
I mean, it
just some
was
really good tire saving by GT. Really good strategy. He just executed better than I did the whole race. That's all that really come down to.
Well, Shutters, you sound exhausted, and for a good reason. We ran well over 300 miles here tonight. I mean, it's grueling. This last race of the season's always the longest one, and you boil the entire season down to 4 drivers and what they do here tonight. You come home second in the points in the race. Is there anything you think you could change, or was it just a matter of the racetrack and you were dealt that hand?
No, I think it comes down to maybe experience. Having never drove here at this track, put in many hours of practice these last couple weeks, but you can't replace race time with solo track time. Being able to see what the other guys are doing, and in this case, GT most of the race, just being able to practice with these guys and which race with these guys, you can't replace that time. Yeah, that's a long one. It's been a long time since this morning getting up for work. That was
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice, man, but we appreciate your time, and Congrats on the second in points. One last time here, do you got anybody you'd like to shout out and thank?
Yeah, my beautiful old lady Lori. Let me see, everybody at Cornerstone, we've put together a hell of a season. Locked the team championship a few weeks ago, and what we done tonight just goes to show, man, we put a lot of effort into the season, and it couldn't have been done without everybody, being willing to practice and talk strategy. And when you put a few real strong-headed guys together on this stuff, man, you can make some good, really great things happen, and that's what we done this season. So everybody at Cornerstone had a big hand in that, and everyone at Bluegrass and B Speed and everyone who helped with the broadcasts and the league putting it on this season. Can't forget about y'all. We wouldn't have this awesome league if it wasn't, for everybody showing up every week and putting on the show. Thanking some sponsors: Aerial Pros of Western North Carolina, Function Junction Smoke Shop, GG's Mountain View Detailing, and Waynesville Tire. And once again, special thanks to Justin Ray for making this paint for me tonight. I believe that'll be it for the season.
Well, thank you for your time. Radburn Shutters, you're going home second in the points, second here tonight in the longest race of the season. Congratulations on the great performance. And we look forward to maybe getting to see you next season in Bluegrass.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
And moving on down the chart, we're going to go to David Farmer, Red Rocket Dave in the 84. Looked like tonight maybe just a little off pace. It seemed like the racetrack was good for you on the short run, but with as long as this distance was and the fuel being at 100%, it seemed like that just didn't quite pan out there after about 20 laps.
Yeah, part of it was I was tired from the race last night and everything in between, but it was a fun race. And the first stint, I had my brake bias way too low and ended up burning up the back tires. And learned from that, so I brought the brake bias up. Still did it a little too much, and the final stint I ended up having good tires at the end of it, but at that point I was too far behind to really do any kind of catching. So.
I mean, making adjustments here with the brake bias, it looked like the bottom line was where you wanted to be. But you started this race out side by side with Hawkins, side by side with Hoobie, and Shutters just kind of sitting in the background watching you guys. Do you think that might have been part of the reason that the tires got melted off so fast? You had to race so hard to maintain a top three.
Oh, definitely. You get next to any of the guys in the series, and it's you race as hard as you can go, and if you're like Radburn was able to sit back and just let it unfold, he was saving tires and able to take advantage of it on the long run.
So ultimately, it came down to pit stops and strategy, the splitting the run. I know that with the stage breaks, that kind of grouped you guys back up. It did give a few opportunities to some guys that were very off pace here tonight, but we saw the 57 of Atkins that was up towards the front. The 9 of Holder at one point was up there in the top three. Just kind of a shuffle all night long. I was impressed we had as many lead changes with so few cars.
Yeah, it makes it fun. Makes it fun to watch, and I'll definitely go back and watch the broadcast. And GT's he's really strong at this track, and I knew he was going to be strong coming into it. Radburn was the black horse in it, and he did a great job racing. He was so fast, but had a great season overall with everybody.
Well, David, we got you up here one last time to finish out the season here, Bluegrass Cup. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for putting on the broadcast, coming in here. I know this is a long night for you with such a low car count. It was greatly appreciated. So thank you for that. Thank everybody at Bluegrass, all the fellow racers and everything for such a great season. Thoroughly enjoyed it. One of the best seasons I've ever been a part of. Thank Jason for getting Bluegrass together and getting that going. And thank my teammates that I had throughout the year, and Alex and Matt, and thank Alex for spotting me the last couple of races. gave somebody, especially a race like this with the length ahead, gives you somebody to talk to and keep you awake as much as possible. But just great season. I can't say it enough.
Well, we appreciate your time, David, and we look forward to things to come, and hopefully we'll get to see you around here on V Speed. Congratulations on third place in the points as well.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Number 84, and that was David Farmer going to bring it home. Now we finally come down here, the winner of the race, the winner of the championship. We talked to him during the pre-race, and we get another interview. It's GT Hawkins, crowned the champion, Bluegrass Cup Series. Congratulations.
Thank you. That I can't say enough about Radburn there. That was awesome. I don't know how it looked on the broadcast, if it, because I had a decent gap there at the end, but I mean, we're talking, I don't know, half of a tenth, probably less than a tenth for sure difference a lap there, probably overall over 400 miles, and at the very least the last whatever we ran, 160 laps or so.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was, I had to be perfect to win it. And yeah, Bradburn's such a great dude, and it's been a blast racing with him this season, and it's his first season in these cars, really running them consistently. So yeah, he has nothing to hang his head on tonight. After that, I'm super proud of him, and that was way hard. That was the hardest I've ever drove, for sure.
Yeah, it looked like he was keeping in check, and even there on that last run, we saw the gap starting to shrink. The gap of about 3.5 seconds that you had pulled out, it got narrowed down to just under 2 seconds at one point. Do you think if there was more time out there that he might have caught up to you?
Yeah, I mean, but if there was more time, I would have ran that last run differently too. But I mean, overall, it, like I said, it was consistently less than, probably around half a tenth difference. I mean, the last 15 the last 15 laps of a run was really the only time that I was consistently just a tick faster than him. But I mean, I'm watching the lap times. Every lap we're trading or we're like dead even, and I am working. I mean, I'm pushing and looking down and seeing when we're on even tires that we're, just as even as you can get. So um that was perfect. I mean, that's what you need out of a championship race.
So it all comes down to that one last stint. You guys had traded back and forth on pit road the first time you pit during the green flags, and you were just a little bit quicker, and you were able to stay out ahead of him, pull out 3.5 seconds. So I think that was the difference maker, in my opinion, that you were able to stay ahead of him there on that last run.
Yeah, I mean, we I kind of was judging, Farmer and Hubie. Congrats to them also, obviously, but they were kind of out of it. Obviously, Radburn was the one I was worried about mostly when, once we hit halfway. But he just was he was just so consistent, and I knew when we were going to pit. Obviously, we're teammates, so we're still talking about when to pit, and we knew what was splitting it even, but he kind of stuck to that strategy, and I was just telling him, like, I was going to pit after him no matter what he did. I would have ran it out of fuel if I had to. So just I I had to get just one lap fresher tires. Just made me feel better. But I mean, I think that played a role, but can't tell by the lap times.
Ultimately coming down to that last stint, and you held it on. You drove a perfect race, and you conclude a perfect season. Congratulations on the championship. GT, do you have anybody you'd like to say hello or shout out or thank for this season?
Yeah, gotta thank Glory Pole first of all. Been on my car for a couple seasons, so appreciate you, Jeremy. Thanks for letting me run run the logo there. My teammates at Cornerstone, they've been awesome all year. Alex has been an awesome crew chief. Really appreciate him being there every season or every race for the last 2 seasons. Hasn't missed a one. So awesome for him. Really appreciate that. And everybody at Cornerstone. And then thanks to Jason and everybody at Bluegrass for putting this on. I've had a blast here over the last couple seasons, and I appreciate them having me. And I've appreciated racing with everybody. There's a lot of really good guys here, and very appreciative of being here and having the opportunity to meet them and grow my iRacing family. It's pretty cool. And then, thank you for broadcasting. You did a fantastic job. And then all my friends, family out there, my mom who doesn't miss a race, appreciate it. And Tim and my work friends, Rebecca, Brian, Tim, and of course my girlfriend Landon for letting me do this. It's very time consuming, so
Especially tonight.
Most definitely. But yeah, all right, that's all I got. Thanks.
Appreciate your time, Hawkins, and we'll look forward to next season.
Oh, Monty, if he's out there watching, thanks. You're awesome too.
Well, there he is, new champion, back-to-back this season, and congratulations, GT Hawkins. We look forward to next season. Bluegrass Cup Series going to be bringing more racing your way here on Bluegrass TV and V-Speed. But that's all she wrote here for season, I believe, number 8 of the year. And, it was a good one. I joined a little bit late, but overall, it was a fun one to bring you guys. Concluding the season here. Final thoughts from me. I think it was a great showdown amongst the top 4. You had a lot of practice going in there with Shutters keeping pace with Hawkins. You never really knew who was going to be champion. Shaving it down there in the last few laps for Shutters, almost taking it back. The laps led 170 for Hawkins here tonight, the number 14. If you haven't checked out V-Speed, go there now on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss a single race. We've got more action for you. We've got Monday nights VSRL, Tuesday nights BTDY, and soon back to Saturday, Friday. Coming in January, a full schedule, and some partnerships in the works. We'll talk more about that in the future, but for now, it's Bluegrass Cup Series concluding the season finale at Homestead, Miami. Everybody at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Alec Martinez, Eddie Smith, Connor Horn, Morgan Cook, and yours truly, Bradley Cooper, telling you to have a great rest of your week. Thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. Take care, everybody.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag.